peace, and light. This is an important message to those souls that are in flight. I'm here in my cocoon. I'm in my cocoon, y'all. Had a serious dream, and I'm not even going to go into it because it's personal to me, but I get the message overall for all. And it has to do with family. The bloodlines are on the line. The bloodlines are on the line, and we are running out of time to clear up the karmic loops that we're given the opportunity to do at this particular time. A lot of us have come to this particular plane for this reason. It's not about just walking away from family at this point. A lot of us have been in isolation. We've been doing all the other things. We've been cutting off, cutting in, out, all of that. But some stuff is coming up now, and we need to pay attention. I'm going to need to share this with you. We need to pay attention. Even though you have done the work, you got all the mushrooms in Mario, you didn't got all your extra points, but now it's time to defeat that turtle at the end of the round. That turtle with all the spikes. That turtle that's in the family lines. It's time to make that power move. This is not about all the things that you have been doing. It's the thing that needs to be done that hasn't been done. I'm speaking to my generational curse breakers. I'm speaking to those, and if you're a generational curse breaker, I want us to go deep. This is not about a curse. This is about a karmic loop. You're not breaking a curse. You're breaking a karmic loop that in our human eyes, we see it as a curse. It can be looked at as a curse. It is really a karmic loop in the bloodline that has a parasitic entanglement. This is very serious right now. We are running out of time for this threshold that we're in, and things need to be done ASAP. That's the urgency that I got up with this dream. While you see me here laying in this cocoon in my robe, I've been up since the wee hours, about 4 or 5, out of this. And it's time for us to know our roles and our places. It's time for us to know what the roles are in the divine feminine, divine energy, divine masculine, and divine feminine. And I'm not talking about genders. This is a different time. What you are meant to do, what we are meant to come here and do, needs to be eradicated. If it's time to flip tables, it's time to flip tables. It's setting the boundaries. But whatever spirit has been showing you, it's time to make that move. Make that power move. Because I'm telling you what a lot of us has been coming through. I'm not telling you something I don't know. I could go into my personal account, and that is really breaking the family drama. Like if you've been seeing the family patterns and you've been fighting it, it's because your family has been fighting you. Those parasitic entanglements have been attacking you for years. And you see it more clearly now. You've seen it on a different level now. I'm seeing it, so I know those of you who have been the generational curse breakers are seeing it as well. I've been seeing it, but this time it's showing at a deeper level. As we're in the Pisces season and we're going very deep into the waters, dimensionally deep, spiritually deep, we're seeing the dimensions of what has been happening through time. You have been fought since you were little. You came into this world to, while having that fight. Don't bypass. I want you to think about everything that you've been through, that you may have even blamed your parents for, things like that. They were a part of it because of the wounds that they did not fix. They allowed themselves to be used through the parasitic entanglement to become a gatekeeper that allowed certain things to happen to you. Yes, they were meant to protect, but they've allowed certain things to happen to you. And I'm not saying this to harbor bitterness. I'm not saying it for people to be in their bitterness. I'm saying it for recognition. It is time to recognize. Yes, it hurts when you recognize it, like, damn, my mom did that, my dad did that. Yes, they did. Unconsciously so, because they thought that they were loving you. but they were a part of the demise to stop you from actualizing into your gifts, from being that curse breaker that you came here to be, from being the one that breaks the karmic loop. Because if you break the karmic loop, you break the parasitic entanglement. This is the fight that they're holding on to right now. This is the grip. So if we don't step into it, it's going to take a hold of you. It's going to bring down what you have come here to do. It's going to block and stop you. You're going to be stopped in your tracks. The family line is going to experience blockage. They already are. But there's a reason why you have been that chosen light that you are. And again, I'm not telling you something I don't know. I'm telling you something I've actually experienced. Breaking the karmic loops. Breaking the karmic cycles that you've been seeing in the collective bloodline. I've been seeing for years. And I've been told I'm too sensitive because you detect things. You're sensitive because your third eye is a high sensory detector, and you're supposed to detect the shit. You're supposed to see it. You're supposed to call it out. But a lot of times we've been quenched. We've been bogged down, pinned down since we were young, and told certain things to keep you quiet, attacking your throat chakra so that you don't speak, because the voice is your power. This is your power box. So you've been feeling blocked and stopped. But I'm saying this for those who know what time it is. The divine time is saying it is time. We don't have any more time to waste. We do not have any more time to waste. I can't say that strong enough. In my personal journey, I've had to have a holy matrimony within my soul. That's your conscious and subconscious mind. That is the divine sacred union. When I call it a holy matrimony, that's the divine sacred union between the masculine and feminine energy. I had to learn to truly honor the masculine energy in me and respect the feminine. This is what is going to bring us to a healing, because these are the energies of modality. The plus and minus, the negative and positive. So we have to have a balance in knowing what that is. And I've worked hard, bust my ass to come through that with no help from my family, from a family lineage that is heavy matriarchal, masculinated women that emasculate men, and under the disguise of self-preservation, because that's how it's shown through the energies. It's through their wounds. And through your wounds, your ego is going to be in a desperate need to spin a narrative to save what it thinks it needs to save. And so, yes, what they did, they thought they did and was doing it right, but it had only emboldened the parasitic energy and gave them a right and space to take up space and place. And it is you, it is the breakers that are seeing this now that is saying no more. And they don't like you. Yes, you're getting the fight. The more you call it out, the more you get the fight. The more I started to even work on myself, I started to feel the fight first. I could feel the disgruntledness. Oh, what is she doing? What does she think she's doing? Because it's outside of what they're used to. And they're still in the grips of the parasitic entanglement. And I had kept practicing it from 2015 to 2020, practicing the sacred, divine, sacred union in my soul that keeps me the example of breakthroughs in the family, breaking the karmic loops, being the woman. This is not about gender, but as the gender also represents the feminine and masculine energy, being the woman that is exemplifying what true balanced feminine energy is supposed to be about, coming up against the disgust of the family who could not understand it, doing things that I never thought I would do in this respect, in the respect of the male gender, something I had to learn through the harmony. through the harmony of duality and through the harmony of the masculine feminine balance. And I had to respect, whereas I would normally get up and leave when things started happening, I stayed because Spirit told me, you're not just going to get up and walk away, because you have to honor and fully respect this and stand in your truth, regardless of what you're seeing around you, regardless of what the other person is doing. And I withstood that. And it looked crazy to the rest of the family, especially a feminine family, a masculinated feminine family that did not understand how to respect a man. And this is just the outward example. Again, I'm not talking about genders, but the genders exemplify what's happening inside. And when they saw that, it disturbed them because they're used to running men over. And what they saw was discrepancies in the relationship, yet I did not bend to disrespect out of fear in my ego of wounds and hurts, carrying the wounds of those bruised feminine energies. They wanted me to carry that. They were upset that even though I had been left with children, I literally went through an altercation physically and had been left with children, including a newborn, and they wanted me to still to hate or to have a certain negative regard. And still I chose to stand firm before the eyes of my children and still honor the divine masculine regardless of what has happened. And that burned them, that irked them, that bothered them. That energy in the family lineage, it stirred them up to the point where when that broke, even after being left, when that masculine came back, when that masculine person came back, the father, they didn't like that I honored it. And not only honored, helped him out of his problems, because that's where he was. For him to do what he done, that was an attack on him that wanted to attack me. And I saw it for what it was in the energy. And I didn't harbor hate. I went through hurt feelings, yes, bruise, yes, but I did not turn it around into hate. I didn't allow the energy to turn me into being that masculinated feminine again that disrespects the masculine. That's what it wants. It wants to sow seeds of discord. So I didn't give it that. I gave it not that. And yet it stirred them up. Till a year later, wanted to sow seeds of discord while I was helping to heal this person. And created stories. They created stories and spun this web. It was like narcissists sending out their flying monkeys. And I had to endure that and attack on my immediate family as I was healing the father and letting the children see that you don't sow hate for another gender. You don't sow down in bitterness. I didn't show them bitterness in a hurt feminine. I showed them a very strong feminine that's going to respect her feminine role, her feminine energy, and still honor the masculine. That's what I exemplified for them. Yet the family that I come from and that bloodline wasn't used to it, so they wanted to disturb that. This is the attack that I was under. And the attack was so strong that at the time that they did it, everyone in that house where they were cooking up their stories got sick. That's how the energy showed me where it was coming from. Every single last one of them. And because my children were over there, 2 of my children came back sick, that I had to keep my children. That was my lesson, to keep my children to myself. I'm speaking to anyone who has been going through this. When you realize the family dynamic, you have to stop encouraging, you have to stop engaging in a certain way because they don't have a covenant over you. I realize that I carry the covenant, and because I carry the light and I'm the generational curse breaker, And I carry a light that they can't stand and they can't see. I have the covenant over my children, so I will not send my children to their homes. My children don't go around them without me. Because if you do, you're leaving them to the wolves in the family, in the bloodline. And so I stood by them. And this is years later that I decided I had a whole a call to the center conversation with that entire bloodline family when that shit hit the fan, when that ish hit the fan, and they were attacking and trying to spin a web of lies around what was happening in my family. So I set the record straight. And they were doing that because they could feel it spinning up. And I was breaking a karmic cycle that entanglement, that parasitic energy didn't like. So their wounds, because that's the only way it can operate is through their wounds. Their wounds started cooking up. And so when I called the meeting, I put it and I said, because I brought up the family secrets that they didn't want to talk about. And that was my molestation when I was attempted. It was an attempted molestation from a family member that some of these family members were aware of but decided not to talk about, and yet decided to spin the web on my immediate family. So this was a day of reckoning, and I called it to the surface, and I put that ugly pink elephant on the table. This is after 20 years of that attempt, 20 years of me having to hold that, heal that, and deal with that by myself without any support from any of those women. The divine feminine would not help. We have bruised divine feminines that are not helping the family lines because they rather keep their secrets. They rather keep their hurt, keep their pain, and secrets are the devil's domain. Let that sit and marinate. This is not the time to keep secrets. This is not the time to be the protector and the holder of secrets, because the secrets are the devil's domain and you're keeping what is essentially insane. And so they didn't like that I would not keep that feminine secret anymore, that the women that were molested didn't want to speak up and speak out and let the younger generation know so that it can be broken. If you don't let the younger generation know, then it's going to recycle itself, because the parasitic energy already has its grips in the bloodline. And if you keep the secret, it can recycle it into the next generation. It'll say, okay, let me grip them. You didn't tell them. So it's going to rear its ugly head in the next generation. Let your children know the secrets that you have been holding. To free the bloodline, we have got to free those secrets. We have got to have acknowledgement and accountability. It is the only way, because accountability is the only true transcendence. And so I tell you that from where I come from, I had to fight this. I had to sit there and listen to all of them turn on me, the victim in the story, and protect the perpetrator, because they were protecting their wounds and they weren't ready to face their wounds. And I took a whole hit from an entire family. And it was then that I decided to detach from them. I didn't go to any more family functions. I didn't go to the Thanksgiving, any of that. I am not there, because they will continue to demon dance, and not on my watch. I've already called it to the forefront. Once you call it out, you got to stand firm. You got to stand 10 toes down. Ashe? And so I stuck with that and waited, and still no support even after that unfoldment, even after that revelation, because that was like revelations to them, the book of Revelations that nobody don't like to read or see or look at. They only look at the doom and the gloom. Oh, seven-headed dragon. Oh, that's all they know is the doom and the gloom. And that's all they could see and stand in fear, rather than knowing that the revelations is the key that will keep you clear. So they stayed away after that, claiming to give me space. They're the ones that needed the space. So I stand on what I'm standing on now, and everything that is coming up with Jupiter and Cancer. I've been talking about it, that families are being put to the test. The generational curse breakers are being put to the test. We're being called to our stations to stand up and stand tall and break what you came here to break. Have no regrets. Take no prisoners. However you want to look at it, it's time to stand up and stand in and make that power move. Have a healthy conversation within yourself. Have a divine, sacred union within yourself. Go to the peace within. Have a tender embrace of what is. Embrace that opposition, that thing that's imposing you, that is opposing you, and possibly imposing, but with assertiveness, with wisdom, with understanding, because knowledge can't stand alone. The light needs the wisdom. The light of knowledge needs the wisdom. And understanding is the key between the two. So get out there and do what you got to do. I don't know who needs to hear it, but pass it along if it needs to be passed along, because there's a lot happening right now. We can't afford to waste any more time. And that's the urgency that woke me up, showed me all the family members and the fight. And when I say I've been in a fight, I've been in a fight, and I can feel the stabs. I can hear the conversations. Because of course the clairs came online. Don't second guess yourself. If you're hearing things, if you're sensing some things, know that energy to be true. They will show you by their fruits. So look at the fruits, look at the energy. The truth is in the fruit. See, and as I'm talking, I'm hearing the little demon lizards behind me scurrying underneath. Little 3D bastards scurrying underneath. Take a deep breath. That's what I got to do. Be about your soul's business. Because it's a fight. Like we're getting attacked right now. So when you feel that, know that what you're feeling is true and counteract that attack. Call it out, cast it out, break the ties, the cords, the hooks, the chains, because they're coming up against you, because they can feel that you are here to proclaim your true domain and free the lineage, free the bloodline from this parasitic entanglement. That's what they don't want, but it is time. And I'm going to leave it right there. If there's anything else more that comes, I really didn't plan on come on, but the message was very strong. And so share that wherever it needs to be shared. Take it however it resonates. If you are that light worker, you know what time it is. It's time to break the karmic loops. And as this energetic seal closes, this is what the seal, it's going to seal you where you are. It's going to seal the bloodline right where they are. And that's it. This is an opportunity that we've never gotten with Third Eye Atlas here in our atmosphere. And it closes after this month. We have but a few more days. You're feeling the intensities from this full moon, because the full moon was the curtain close, call, end call. It's time. We have but a few more days, so get on your soul's business. Forget about the vehicle. Forget about the body. Forget about all this outside shit that's distracting you. Get into your higher self and get the information from the soul of what your soul's purpose is here to do, and be about it, because it is true. Ashe, peace, love, and light. If anything else comes, I'll let you know. Be on guard. Ashe.